Welcome to Humber Polytechnic North Campus Gym. This is the tip-off of a weekend of championship basketball. Our first semifinal game featuring the undefeated Humber Hawks, #1 team in the nation, taking on a Georgian Grizzlies team that has been red hot in the late going of the season. My name is Matt Hamill, alongside my broadcast partner, Andrew Milani. Kyle Dalton is our sideline reporter here to give us the scoop pregame.
Thanks, guys, and what a matchup we have to open up the Final Four this weekend, Humber versus Georgian. Let's begin on the Georgian side. They're coming into this one of the hottest teams in the league and one of the best offenses in the East Division, led by Trey Wilson. And Georgian has the opportunity this weekend, guys, to pick up their first ever OCAA medal, so something to play for sure. On the other side, for their Hawks, they're looking to complete the undefeated season, led by the dynamic duo of Jalen Menzies and Malik Grant. They're hoping for back-to-back provincial titles this weekend and hoping to punch their ticket to nationals here today. We'll send it back to you guys.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Kyle. We'll be checking in with you later in the game, and this is quite a matchup with some star power on both sides of the court. Andrew, we saw some of the numbers there earlier, but certainly a great matchup here.
Yeah, absolutely. And all four teams here this weekend, all near the top of the stats, particularly points, field goal percentage, and assists. Georgian actually sitting #2 in points, #3 in field goal percentage. They're led by Trey Wilson, the former Humber Hawk, played a few games with them back in 1920. Was 5th in free throw percentage this year, so you do not want to get him to the line. Also was named East First Team All-Star, so he should be quite the piece here for Georgian here this afternoon.
Yeah, and Georgian has a couple of good complementary players as well. Some All-Stars, Trey Wilson being an East Division First Team All-Star. Sharn Marseille is a East Division Second Team All-Star. And again, a lot of contributors on this Georgian team. But of course, for Humber, #1 ranked team in those CCAA rankings, so across the country. And we'll be hoping for Humber's cast of characters to come together and continue this perfect season. But Kyle, Andrew, some excellent players on Georgian as well. We just saw Uzziah Glasgow, third-year player who's had quite an impact for the team in blue.
Yeah, quite the high impact score. Considering his guard, his field goal percentage very high. You saw that over 50%. Should be an interesting competition here there against Humber today. But there's a look at the bracket, the way we got here. Humber beat Algonquin last weekend. Georgian beating Sheridan in that one. Sache, 42 points, 15 rebounds, 17 of 24 from the field. Let's see if he can continue that momentum here this afternoon.
Yeah, how about that? The 42-point game for Jason Sache in their quarterfinal matchup against Sheridan. Maybe he's got some momentum carrying over into this one. You know, Georgian would love to see some guys step up and dethrone the reigning provincial champions, Humber Hawks. We'll find out how it all plays out. Game 1 of championship weekend is moments away. We throw it over to our player introductions.
Hi there, and welcome to the Nest here at the Humber Athletic Center and the OCAA Men's Basketball Championship Semifinal 1 between the Georgian Grizzlies and your Humber Hawks. At this time, we would ask you to please stand up if you're able and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome your officials for the game. Andrew Yan, Jeff Astos, and the crew chief is Kayla Dawson. It's time to welcome the starting lineups for both the teams. Firstly, for the Georgian Grizzlies. Leading off from Toronto, a 6'1" guard, number 1, Kewante Anderson. From Paris, France, a 6'5" guard, number 3, Sean Marseille. From Vaughan, Ontario, a 6'3" guard, number 10, Uzziah Glasgow. From Barrie is a 6'5" forward, number 22, Trey Wilson. And from the Dominican Republic, a 6'6" forward, number 33, Alberto Lopez. The head coach for Georgian is Chad Biole. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to stand up on your feet and make some noise and welcome the starting lineups of the West Division champions, undefeated the entire season, the #1 team in the country, your Humber Hogs! Leading off from Brampton, a 6'7" small forward is a number 5, Malik Grant. Next up, he is also from Brampton, a 6-foot-tall point guard, a number 6. Give it up for Cameron David. From the Rex, proudly known as Quabs, a 6-foot point guard, number 12, Kwabena Antwi. From Toronto, standing 6'6", playing a small forward, number 14, he is Adrian Aluyi. And from Walton, a 5'10" point guard. He is focused, he's self-isolated. He's a number 23, Jalen Menzies. And the starting lineups is put together by an OCAA Coach of the Year, Omar Miles.
And you heard it there, Humber led by OCAA Coach of the Year, Omar Miles, and a couple of other distinctions. Malik Grant, not only the OCAA Player of the Year on the side of Humber, but also a CCAA All-Canadian, no surprise there. Andrew, some good scoring on both sides. These are the top 5 scorers playing in this game, and you see Trey Wilson with the slight edge.
Yeah, but you look up and down these teams' lineups and their stat sheets. It's not just all about one player. They really like to spread the love when it comes to scoring. So imagine a lot of players here today in the double digits.
Humber getting the first possession. Cameron David to the hoop and going to get the first bucket to fall. Humber out to an early lead thanks to the veteran Cameron David.
Yeah, you think of him more as a playmaker here for these Hawks, but as we've seen right there, he can attack the basket.
Yeah, doing what needed to be done in that moment. Now David playing defense as it's Kevonte Anderson who hands it off to Lopez. His shot won't fall, rebounded by Grant. Kwabena Antwi now, the human battering ram, makes his way to the hoop, kicks it out to Cameron David, who's almost going to get that one to fall. Rebound surrendered to the Grizzlies.
Yeah, good shot selection there by Cameron David there, though.
Anderson, he'll take a shot in the paint and gonna get the carnival rim bounce and hand it off to Humber.
Anderson showing off some athleticism here early on, really blowing by Cameron David on both offensive possessions.
Our semifinal match now is into that first minute. Nice pass by Antwi and gets it to Adrian Aluyi for the finish. And there's a guy that's kind of his bread and butter, Andrew, for Aluyi, right in tight.
Yeah, and two of the top teams in terms of assists per game in the OCAA going at it here right now. Humber 4th in the conference with 19.4 assists per game.
So Humber back on the defensive side. Menzies put a hand in there trying to poke it away, but he will be picking up a foul there. So game one, Andrew, is now underway. We'll take a quick look here on our HSN replay. As you see there, Menzies got a little too involved for the foul. So Andrew, this is game one. We have the St. Clair Saints taking on the Durham Lords in game two. Another fantastic matchup. So kind of spoiled rotten here today for OCAA basketball.
Yeah, two of the top teams in the West and the two top teams in the East here this weekend. And Humber and St. Clair just a few short years ago went at it not only for the OCAA championship, but for the CCAA championship. So could be a rematch here this weekend, rather.
There's a lot of kind of rematch, bad blood storylines. You know, you saw Humber dethroning Durham last year. Well, Durham was hosting the OCAA tournament, and Humber beating Durham in the semifinal round. Maybe a rematch in store on championship day. We'll find out. That shot won't go as Georgian, still looking to get on the board. David takes it inside. He kicks it out. Antwi looking for a lane. A lot of Grizzlies swarming on him. And three in the key on Louis will bring that drive to a halt.
Humber had some good ball movement there, though. They just got to watch it with the technical mistakes, like on that possession.
4-0 ball game. Over 2 minutes in. Here's Anderson who gets it over. Had briefly there held by Trey Wilson. Good passing as Lopez once again not able to get his shot to go. Here comes Menzies and doing what he does best, using speed in transition and getting the bucket.
Guards coming in big here early on for Humber.
David, a little aggressive poke there and a good individual effort by Cavante Anderson with the finish off the glass.
Yeah, with just some of that speed by Anderson, it was only a matter of time before he was going to blow by and get his first few points. Jump ball.
Yeah, it's a call gonna not quite go the way Humber wanted. Official is gonna have a little conversation with some players after a little rough stuff. And now it looks like actually we had Antwi getting ready at the free throw line as he thought he had earned himself some shots from the charity stripe. But it's not the case. Coach Omar Miles was a little unhappy with that call, to say the least. Looks like we'll have the sixth man of the year in the East Division, Isaiah Brady Clark, checking into the game for Humber at the next whistle. Right now, Humber on defense. Georgian just got their first bucket of the game. They're not going to get their second as it's taken away by Humber. Antwi with the ball on the far side up top. Kobena Antwi creating a little bit of space. Beautiful move off the glass and in.
Antwi there using space there tremendously to his advantage. There's four guys there near him, but just managed to find that seam in there and get in there for the bucket.
Yeah, you mentioned it. Really not a great prospect for Antwi, but he made something out of nothing. Deep three, rebounded by Grant. 8-2 in favor of the home team. Grant won't get that to go on the solo effort. Humber with the second chance, though. Humber leading the OCAA in rebounds per game and some offensive rebounding early on to give Humber a second chance. Nice feed to a Louis and another bucket for Adrian, and a timeout called by Georgian as Humber now in double digits, 10-2, 4 minutes in.
Yeah, and you're going to see here Anderson just a little overzealous there, jumping up there, trying to anticipate it. Easy bucket for a Louis.
So what a start for Humber. With the timeout, we get a chance to kind of catch our breath. And so far, everything coming up for the team that's not only been able to pull off an undefeated season up until this point, but Andrew also getting that nod to host this OCAA tournament as kind of flipped between East and West Division. Last year in the East Division, it was Durham with hosting duties, and now here we are in Etobicoke. And there's a look at the coaching staff for Georgian, as you know, they would like to see their team kind of wake up a little bit, as Humber has certainly had the edge in the early going.
Yeah, never easy for opposing teams to come into the Hawks' nest here, and it's such a tremendous advantage, this new format that they do have this OCAA Final Four, where it's not really a bidding process anymore. It's just you're the best team you host, and Humber 20-0 on the season, including those playoff games. So they have earned the right to host this tournament, and everything was just working out for them so far.
And so far, Humber with the OCAA Player of the Year, Malik Grant. No points on the board for number 5 quite yet, but we'll see if Grant can join the party. Every other starter for Humber has scored. And we have a substitution as Isaiah Brady Clark is now in the game for Humber. As Jalen Menzies heads out for the moment. Georgian after the timeout, you know, they're looking to get on schedule here with the scoring. A little bit of a scramble and a foul called against Cameron David.
Yeah, I think you got a little excited there seeing Anderson right by the timeline, trying to force him to step back to get that violation, but couldn't quite do it there. One more look at that basket by Aluyi from just before that timeout.
But I'll tell you what, for Humber, still able to keep Georgian a little bit uncomfortable in the offensive end. We'll see if the Hawks can continue. You know, for all we talk about Humber's abilities in the offensive end, it's really been oftentimes defense leading the way. You've talked to Humber's coaching staff, that's exactly what they'll tell you. And that's been a big part of this outstanding season. 18-0 in the regular season, finishing with that #1 national ranking. Playing some tight D's, Adrian Aluyi over there on Trey Wilson. That shot fired up, and the 3-ball from Sean Marseille. And that's exactly what Georgia needed.
Yeah, and they had tried to jack it up from 3 a couple times earlier. Hadn't gone their way. They finally get one to go. It's going to be interesting to see if they keep going back to that, or they try and go a little bit more inside, where they have had more success this season, 3rd in field goal percentage. You don't do that by shooting 3s all day.
Looks like a foul called against Georgian. And that's going to go against Sean Marseille. So after his 3-pointer, he draws the attention of the officials on the defensive effort. Humber with it on the baseline. It'll be Antwi putting it in. Lucas Lewis has just checked into the game, and Adrian Aluyi will check out after a solid couple of minutes to open the game for Aluyi, including 2 buckets.
This is another just tremendous gift that Humber has, just the depth of this team. They can slowly get guys in and out of the lineup and on the court.
Yeah, you also have the rookie, Dwayne Burke, a member of the West Division All-Rookie team. He's checked in for Humber. And there's Grant with his first bucket of the game. Of course, we'll keep an eye on the star player for the Hawks.
Couldn't keep him quiet for too long.
Now that is a tall order. Being batted around here. Brady Clark to Antwi. Looks for the dunk. Gets the finish. Another big bucket for Humber off the turnover.
Yeah, it looked like he was going for the power slam there. A couple of Georgia players colliding into each other.
Oh, had him on skates. A little collision as some Grizzlies coming together there. Leads to Humber with the bucket. And Brady Clark not able to convert. But yet another drive for Georgian that falls flat due to, again, just being a little bit off balance, a little uncomfortable looking out there.
It's still early, but Georgia's got to be really careful here. You got to start putting away points, otherwise Humber can start to run away with this. It's already a 3-possession game.
And a bit of a wild play down low. Ultimately, a foul will go against Lucas Lewis. And 2 free throws coming up from Uzziah Glasgow. There's the aftermath. A couple players come together in what was a high velocity play. See Georgian's head coach still pleading his case. That's Chad Booley, 4th year head coach for Georgian. Humber's head coach, Omar Miles, coach of the year, also in his 4th year.
And Omar already having a tremendous run as head coach. Already 2 conference championships and a national championship in his short term.
Yeah, national championship in his opening season in his own barn as Humber hosted the Nationals that year.
Just a dream season and a picture-perfect ending.
The outstanding rookie with the drive, and 2 free throws coming up for Dwayne Burke. Thus far, Humber has been able to get out to a nice lead and hang on to it. And a chance for Dwayne Burke to knock 2 more down and grow Humber's lead.
Romeo Sauce Joshua getting ready to come on the floor.
Yeah, Romeo, a 3-point specialist for Humber. You see on the right side of your screen, having a seat, getting ready to tap in here. Got some Georgian fans making noise, but Burke unfazed. And a quick substitution as Romeo comes in, Malik Grant checks out. So a lot of those starters for Humber now on the bench. In fact, all of them currently on the sideline. And speaks to your point earlier, Andrew, about the depth of this Humber team.
Yeah, they're able to just get guys on and off the court without really losing a beat.
See if Georgian can maybe try to take advantage. Offensive foul. And Humber standing strong in the defensive end and still able to really keep Georgian from getting any kind of juice going in their offensive end.
Yeah, great job by Sauce Joshua drawing that foul, drawing that charge.
Yeah, and how's that for Romeo? Checks into the game already, making an impact in that defensive end. We'll see if maybe Romeo can make a splash in the offensive zone. We know, as I highlighted before, an excellent 3-point shooter.
And a tremendous ball handler as well. He leads the OCAA with an assist-to-turnover ratio of 10. The next highest in the league, 3.5, so tremendous advantage there.
Yeah, Romeo about 36% from beyond the arc this season. Here's the West Division 6 Man of the Year, Isaiah Brady Clark with the feed down low. A whistle. Looks like it'll be against Georgian. And Malik Grant back into the match here, Andrew, as Lucas Lewis checks out. And as he mentioned, just that lone bucket for Grant here in the early going. See if he can add to his scoring.
Yeah, they haven't been too eager to exactly force him the ball. They get him a shot right there. But they're not forcing it to anyone right now. They're just looking for that open man, playing some smart basketball, which, of course, head coach Omar Miles has to love right now.
And here comes Georgian, who have thus far found it very difficult to get the offense going. Some good passing here. And good finish against some well-positioned defenders. And that will drop courtesy of Uzziah Glasgow.
Yeah, tremendous finish by Glasgow.
Romeo's 3-pointer not going to go. Burke, a little too physical. He did get the rebound, but officials are going to hand him his first foul of the game.
Yeah, loose ball foul there taken by Dwayne Burke, just pushing over Zaire Christie in the offensive end for Humber.
So DJ Burke is out and Cameron David comes back into the game. Here's a look at one of those earlier Georgian drives, and this was that last bucket by Glasgow. What an individual effort. That's just what Georgian's going to be looking for. Got to get it over here. Anderson will do that. Cavante Anderson finds a man in tight. Brownridge, and not able to get a finish in tight are the Grizzlies. Harewood hands it to Romeo. There's a 3-ball from Romeo Osas Joshua.
Perfect 3-pointer in rhythm by Romeo Osas Joshua.
As the Hawks now at 21 points to Georgian's 9.
4-possession lead. All Humber this quarter so far.
Yeah, 2.5 to go here in this opening frame. Anderson working against Cameron David. Anderson will throw it up off the rim, and somehow another outstanding effort by Uzziah Glasgow for the finish. He's up to a team-high 6 points. That might be a game high, actually, between either team. Big block there as David went for the shot in tight, but a large defender by the name of Will Brownridge was all over it.
Yeah, definitely one of the tallest players here on either side. And it was a pretty easy block from his perspective.
Yeah, in fact, we can confirm as far as our rosters are concerned, Brownridge, the rookie out of Oshawa, is the tallest in the match today. Another 3 from Romeo. And what a contribution. We mentioned early, he took the charge and helping out in the defensive end. Back-to-back 3s for Romeo.
Yeah, missed that first one, but then got those next 2. Could be getting hot in the court. We'll have to see.
So he's at 6 points now. And we'll get a foul call that the Grizzly Nation will not be stoked about, as that will bring yet another Grizzlies offensive push to a premature end.
And each team now out of fouls to give.
We saw Coach Booley is continuing to plead his case with the officials. Thus far, Humber has had the juice in the opening frame. Cameron David working his way inside, feeds it down to Lucas Lewis, who is fouled, and a frustrated Zier Christie not liking the call.
Yeah, but he grabbed his jersey. They're going to call that immediately every time. I can understand some of the frustration that things aren't going your way, but you got to be careful with obvious fouls like that.
So Lewis's first free throw won't go down.
This has been a little bit of a problem all season for Humber. Free throws have not been their strong suit.
Yeah, Lewis is a 60% shooter, and Humber is 18th in the OCAA, and if my math is correct, that might put them last in free throw percentage at 61.5%. Romeo with a nice poke there. Georgian, 10 seconds on the shot clock, looking for something right now, kind of stuck on the perimeter. Good passing and another excellent play, and that one's going to hang for a moment, but fall as Uzziah Glasgow with yet another play, really leading the way offensively for Georgian in the first quarter.
And Glasgow, that's second in a row. Pretty nice buckets that he's gotten into the paint. We're going to see if Georgia kind of forces him the rock a little bit more down the stretch here.
Grant with it. And Malik Grant kicks it out. Romeo wide open, three ball, just a little too shallow. And we saw another effort there by Lucas Lewis to try to get the rebound.
Surprised Romeo was left that wide open there from three, considering he just nailed his last two.
And frustration continues for the Grizzlies as Lewis with yet another trip to shoot some free throws.
And Humber now in the bonus for the final 42 seconds of the quarter.
First shot up for Lewis. A little too shallow. And there's really the heart and soul of the Georgian fan cheering section tonight. Making a lot of noise. Love to see that. And Georgian streaming in. Lewis was there, but too physical. And a hard tumble to the hardwood for Jomar De La Rosa, taking a little extra time to get up.
Yeah, he basically got tagged, basically right in the elbow, right in the forearm there. He fell down pretty hard, but he's going to shoot two, and now Georgian in the bonus.
And a couple of fouls for Lucas Lewis. New face in the game for Humber, number 21, Taj Motiki Stevens. And so the free throw is good, 24-15, as Georgian brings it back within a single-digit game. Grant, a lot of defenders, and he'll toss that up, looking for the foul call.
Yeah, tough shot there, too.
Humber trying to set up defensively. Things looking still a little bit out of sync for Georgian, as Humber is playing tight D. And Romeo got his hand in there, and Jomar's shot won't go, but second chance for the Grizzlies. Offensive rebound and another look, and right at the buzzer as the quarter comes to a close. And how about that for Georgian, just emotionally and psychologically to try to get back in the right direction. A 7-point lead now after that latest bucket.
Yeah, strong into the quarter for Georgian. They were down by 13 at one point, just keeping it within single digits, just huge for this team going into the second quarter. Look at this ball movement here. a missed three-pointer, but right there on that offensive rebound, which rebounding has been a strength for Humber, but there's been a couple of big offensive rebounds here for Georgian. Humber's got to watch the box out as this game goes on.
Yeah, and the man on the spot was Luke Turigny, right there for that rebound. And, you know, it's 2 points on the board, but, you know, it comes right at that buzzer. You head into the huddle, and instead of that predominant frustration we've seen from Georgian in that first quarter, now things may be starting to look up a little bit. Should be interesting here in this semifinal match.
This game not over by a long shot. It's going to be a very interesting next 30 minutes of basketball.
And this is game one of our semifinal Saturday, as we have the Howie Hawk mascot watching on, as this game will lead into our second game, the St. Clair Saints taking on the Durham Lords, and we are excited for that one. But of course, the home team drawing lots of energy into the crowd. Andrew, after 1 quarter of play, we have our stats. Anything jumping out to your partner in what was mostly a Humber Hawk friendly affair?
Just the discrepancy in field goal percentage between these two sides. Humber shooting a very efficient 58.8, Georgian just 40%. That's something they got to clean up if they want to win this ball game.
Yeah, Georgian 1 for 5 from beyond the arc. Humber 2 for 6, and those 2 threes coming from Romeo.
Leading the way for his team, the last holdover from that national championship squad.
Yeah, with those 6 points, he leads his team. But a game-high 8 points is on the other side, and that's Uzziah Glasgow. No surprise there. He's been able to take some low percentage chances and get the finish as Antweet charges in, and a good look there as Humber starts the second on the right note.
Yeah, Antweet a little bit covered defensively, but putting it high off the glass and in.
Here's Georgian, who finally started to get their offense a little bit in rhythm as that first quarter went along. Maybe trying to check if things are still flowing, as that won't go. Rebounded by Isaiah Brady-Clark, and it's going to go against Isaiah by the looks of it.
Loose ball foul, if I had to guess.
Didn't see a whole lot there, but that will give Georgian another crack at it here in the offensive end. And we have, looks like a timeout called by Humber.
Omar Miles is furious.
And yeah, he's has some words for a few players as they come to the bench. And after Humber starting off the quarter with a bucket, here's how things started to kind of unravel. Now, I didn't.
It was a little push there by Motiki Stevens that looked like it did it.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it went to Isaiah or Taj, but at any rate, Coach Miles, the coach of the year, a little bit hot under the collar with something he saw there in the defensive end, and we know how important the defensive play is for that Humber coaching staff. And we'll see if Coach Chad on the other side can continue to see his team trend in a positive direction after what was a bit of a flat start.
But like you said, it all starts with defense. Humber, that's their bread and butter, named the best defensive team in the division. We've seen it so often this season where they get offense going from defense, especially on the fast break, where they just make it so easy for themselves and for Georgian. I mean, the way Humber's been playing, you got to find a way to shut them down, or at least contain them in their own end. Timeout done. Down to a 3-possession ball game here.
And ball is in. We'll see if Humber tightens up a little bit defensively, and almost there with the turnover. And things gonna go in favor of the Grizzlies.
Antweet looked like he overthought that one a little bit, tried to put it off the Georgian player out of bounds when maybe he should have just looked for the pass for his teammate.
The officials sorting things out here. We're going to reset the shot clock now, so that goes in favor of Georgian. So plenty of time for the Grizzlies to work with. And a wild pass there as Jalen Menzies scoops it up. Turnover for Humber. Isaiah Brady-Clark too strong off the glass. And that'll give it right back to Georgian. Up top for Turigny. Had a big rebound at the end of that first quarter. He hands it off to De La Rosa. Jomar dishes it off. Georgian way up top. Shot clock winding down and fired. And a good rebound by Taj. He pokes it over to Malik Grant.
Good box out there by the Hawks to secure the defensive rebound.
Humber's lead is at 9. Antwi intercepted. Intended for Menzies and not going to fall there for Sache. Grant, 3-ball, it's good. The OCAA Player of the Year with another clutch shot for Humber. He's got 7 points here this afternoon.
We'll see if he can heat up today. That quarterfinal match against Algonquin, that win, he had 22 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, a block, and 4 of 9 from 3.
Another foul charged against Humber. Antwi is the guilty party. So Antwi will head to the bench. In his stead, it's going to be a member of the all-rookie team, Dwayne Burke. Grant using that big wingspan to kind of interrupt the inbounds pass. Georgian does get it going, though. Another high-effort play there by Glasgow. Not going to get the finish that go-around. Grant fake the 3 off to Burke. Too short, but follows up his own rebound, and a couple of Hawks gliding together.
Didn't work there, but I like that extra pass there by Malik Grant.
Wow, another beautiful move by Uzziah, the third-year guy, continuing to lead the way for Georgian. Isaiah Brady-Clark gets the bad bounce, but DJ Burke all over it for the finish.
All there, and I mean, for Humber, Georgia's just going to leave that corner 3 open. You got to shoot it.
A 12-point lead for Humber now in effect. And a turnover. It's the Hawks' quick transition. Jalen Menzies well short that time. And an off-balance Burke not able to save it. All right, Andrew, we've got 3 minutes ticked away here just about in the second quarter. And Humber's lead continues to be right around that 10, 11, 12-point mark.
We'll see if Humber can put together another run here to help extend that lead.
And once again, Georgian just out of sorts offensively.
Humber a little out of sorts there, too, on that transition play.
You know, we're just seeing a high-intensity defensive strategy for Humber. And that has thus far worked to keep Georgian a little discombobulated, but as you mentioned, Humber ultimately giving the Grizzlies the last laugh, as it's going to be right on the sideline with the inbounds coming up from Torigny. And there's a shot from Wilson, Trey Wilson with the airmail. And so we've only seen 2 points from who throughout the season was their leading scorer, but Trey Wilson still very quiet in the early going here.
No points actually for Trey Wilson this afternoon so far.
Ah, yes, sorry, looking at Sache on the board there. And Burke gets the 3 to fall right in front of the popcorn machine, Andrew.
Nothing but net on that 3, perfect shot.
A 15-point lead for Humber now. And once again, we'll have the inbounds play for Georgian on that near base, sideline rather. And Torigny finds a man. Wilson looking inside, pass almost tipped away. Getting swarmed here, finds Wilson again up top. And just having a tough go, finding some breathing room as Humber's defense continues with their suffocating effort. Taj with the nice footwork and the finish.
Absolutely filthy there to outweigh his defenders. Nice little patient move to open up some space for him inside. Beautiful basket.
Make that lead 17 now for Humber. And charging in, and some physical defense for Humber is going to draw the foul that time.
That's the second time today where Jomar De La Rosa has been the victim of some high-impact physicality there. David getting called for a second.
Here's a look at the players coming together. DJ Burke laid out. So Georgian ball on the baseline. High percentage shots have been tough to come by. This time Georgian is gonna guilty of the foul. That's gonna go against number 8, Agok.
Chad Booley can't believe it. He's looking for an explanation.
Agok, a first-year player for this Grizzlies team. Romeo with it, hands it off to Isaiah. And he'll put it up a little too short. Isaiah Brady Clark still 0 points today after a couple shots that just have not quite fallen for him. Up top, three-pointer, not gonna fall as Wilson's still looking for his opening bucket of the game. That's got to be tough for Georgian to see their leading scorer really out of rhythm, but really it's kind of a systemic issue for this Georgian team. Offensively, just have not quite been firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, their offense just had a ton of issues today.
And another three ball from Romeo. And just an outstanding time for that young man to really be feeling himself from beyond the arc.
Romeo, where art thou, Romeo? He's behind the arc, dishing rainbows.
Tipped up, another great play for Humber, taking it away, pushing it up to Malik Grant, and another bucket brings Humber to a 22-point lead, 41-19. And Georgian slowing things down, calling this timeout.
An 8-possession lead now for the Humber Hawks. Things are starting to get out of hand here. Georgia's just got to be on their bench, just looking for any answer they can get. One more look at that basket by Grant. All smiles right now, heading to the bench.
Yeah, just over halfway through the second quarter, Grant has been able to establish a good presence early in the game, Andrew. 9 points thus far, and it's been a couple of us surrounding characters as well chipping in, making for the player of the year, not having to carry too heavy of a load, and already a 22-point lead for Humber early in this one.
Yeah, and Grant really helping to lead the way there. We mentioned off the hop, he had a little bit of a quiet start, but really starting to come on here, trying to put on a little bit more and more as it come on. As the game comes on, I should say, look at Howie the Hawk there, leading on the Humber fan section. Always a good time when Howie's in the house. But Grant, big last time against Algonquin, 22 points. And the way this one's going, it wouldn't be surprising if he matches that or surpasses that point total. .430 left to go in the half.
Here we go. Georgian has seen their woes continue here in the second quarter. Oh, goodness, that's going to be a tough play. As out of the timeout, that offensive drive comes to a halt. You see the frustration from head coach Chad as the self-inflicted errors. But, you know, Andrew, I think a lot of it also is just the pressure. Humber's really been able to turn up and keeping the Grizzlies really out of their comfort zone.
Yeah, absolutely. No one in Georgia in any serious foul trouble, but just these low plays, they're starting to add up.
And Isaiah Brady Clark way too strong there as his scoring troubles continue here.
Great press by the Hawks.
Yeah, indeed. And just all kinds of pressure, and got it over in time. Just barely, I would think.
Yeah, we might have to check the replay there. I don't know if they quite got over in time. They might have gotten away with one there.
Wilson gets his first bucket of the game, so Humber will have to keep an eye on Trey Wilson. Make sure he doesn't get comfortable and get going here. As for now, it's a 20-point lead. Burke not able to get the tip. Rebounded by Jomar. To the hoop. Out of bounds. It'll be Humber's ball, I think. No, Grizzlies actually. Last touch by a Hawk. Let's get another look here as Jomar really did it all by himself. Nice dribble. And yeah, maybe Little piece there for Humber to touch it last, and Georgian now with it.
And for Georgian, the key here is just to chip away at that Humber lead.
Wow, what an effort there by Jomar as De La Rosa gets the 3-ball right over top of Romeo.
Humber could really use a bucket here.
Aluyi hands it off. Nice move inside as Ndongo not able to get the finish. And Humber with the second chance, drawing the foul, and free throws coming up. Good work there in tight by Adrian Aluyi.
Yeah, great job, just force the defense to take a foul on that play.
And you mentioned how big that possession was for Humber to come and get a response, not allow Georgian to maybe build some positive energy off that big 3-ball from Jomar we just saw. Aluyi had 2 nice buckets early in the game. He's looking to follow that up. There's his first bucket of the second quarter.
Yeah, just barely made it. One for saving a decent trip to the free throw line.
Yeah, it took all the strength that rim could summon to keep that free throw from bouncing out. Wilson a little off balance. And Ndongo all over him. And well done there by Victor Ndongo as forcing the turnover, and it's going to be Humber's ball with Menzies inbounding it.
Each team 1 timeout left, or excuse me, just Georgia 1 timeout left, and each team does have a foul left to give in the remainder of this quarter.
Nice pass there by Grant. Ndongo makes his way in, unable to get it to fall. It's on the hardwood jump ball, and this one will go to the Grizzlies.
It's the Grizzlies' possession. Checking in for Humber, number 12.
And Antwi's into the game for Humber. Malik Grant, the OCAA Player of the Year, will check out. Two and a half minutes in this opening frame, 42-24. Humber's led by as much as 22 points in this game. Menzies with the quick step, looking to force the turnover. Humber has forced a lot of those in this game. There's another one, courtesy of Jalen Menzies. He poked it away, and he's not going to get the finish as Brady Clark not able to get the bucket in tight. And turned over as the Grizzlies will get possession on their own baseline.
Yeah, Grizzlies doing a good job to get back in defensive transition there, not making anything easy there for Menzies, and Brady Clark there on the rebound.
Been a frustrating second quarter for Isaiah Brady Clark as he's still looking for his first bucket. He's had lots of chances. Looking to see the West Division 6 Man of the Year get dialed in, but Humber has still been enjoying some great play from a lot of their star guys that have allowed a pretty sizable lead here, Andrew.
Yeah, but Georgian, much like the end of the last quarter, starting to finish up strong, but the problem for them is just starting these quarters strong, which they just haven't been able to do. Humber's just been owning them in the early stages of each of these quarters.
Blowing a tire up top, but the Grizzlies still hang on to it. Pass was not expected, bounced right off the chest of Sache. Whistle before that one. And we'll have 2 free throws coming up.
Looks like Menzies is going to get called for a second. Oh, excuse me, it's going to Ndongo.
And so Ndongo, after some solid minutes in the second quarter, he heads off, and Malik Grant checks back into the game. First free throw there for Camonte Anderson, no good. Anderson, the lone 5th-year player on this Grizzlies team. And taken away by Aluyi. And there we have a violation against the Hawks that'll turn it right over.
That's going to put Georgian in the bonus. Georgian still with the timeout and a foul left to give.
And Humber with really quite the rotation of players in and out, as now Antwi is heading to the bench and the great rookie DJ Burke is back in this one. Anderson being guarded by Brady Clark. Now it's Burke standing up defensively. Three-pointer won't go. Menzies was on the defensive side, and another trip to the free throw line here for Cavante Anderson.
Yeah, Anderson once again using the athleticism, soaring in there, grabbing that rebound, just forcing that little bit of contact on the way up.
As a warning is issued to the Grizzlies head coach, who has been quite active as he's seen his team fall behind early in this one, and certainly some frustration on the side of the Grizzlies based on how this one has played out so far.
Yeah, down 16 with just over a minute left to go in halftime. I don't think this is the way that they exactly drew things up coming into this one.
As we mentioned, though, the Grizzlies coming into this game on an 11-game win streak. Now, that's the second longest in the OCAA, Andrew. The longest win streak this season is the Humber Hawks. 18 games in the regular season undefeated, 2 playoff games to add on to that.
Been quite a while since these Humber Hawks have dropped a game in the province.
Yeah, we mentioned the last time Humber's lost at home was November of 2023. Georgians had a great season in their own right, though. Of course, they have tough competition in that East Division against Durham, and Durham defeating the Grizzlies earlier in the season back in September, an 89-78 game there. But when the Grizzlies welcomed the Durham Lords into their own gym up in Barrie, the Grizzlies actually got the win. That was back on February 4th. So, you know, this Grizzlies team, they've certainly shaped up in the later going of the year in a very big way. I mean, they've been strong all the way through, but playing some great basketball, but running into a very tough opponent here in the Humber Hawks. 10 seconds on the shot clock here within the last minute of play. Foul against the Grizzlies as Lucas Lewis is hit hard.
Anderson not happy at all with that foul call, but when you run into a guy basically his back turned to you, I mean, they're going to call that every time.
So that Humber lead was 22. It is now 13. So give credit to the Grizzlies, Andrew. They have been able to take a good chunk out of that big deficit. 41 seconds on the game clock, 14 on the shot clock here. Taj gets the ball from Grant, and Motiki Stevens called for the travel here. And that will put an end to that offensive push, and about half a minute on the clock here in this half. Andrew, the Grizzlies did a great job finishing strong at the end of the first, hoping to maybe build some momentum here to carry over in what's been so far a tough game against Humber.
Yeah, and I mean, if you can go into halftime, building up that momentum, you're going to be feeling pretty good heading into the locker room. And on the other end for Humber, it's got to be a little frustrating the way these last few minutes have gone for them.
And Humber doing such a good job there defensively. So many players flocking to the ball. And Georgian will get possession here. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Jomar being guarded by Malik Grant. Menzies almost stealing it away. Jomar, 3-ball in and out. And that should go for the Humber Hawks. It will indeed. Last touched by Agak.
And Georgian really making Humber fight for these rebounds there. Agak really going in there, trying to steal that ball away from Dwayne Burke.
Off-balance shot for Malik Grant right at the buzzer. It won't go, but we will head into halftime with the Humber Hawks leading by 13, 42-29. And what a first half it was, Andrew. Humber really setting the tone early and have been able to kind of remain in the driver's seat all the way through.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think they'd like to have those last couple minutes back of that game. I don't think they'd be pleased about some of the mistakes they made on their own end, and a few balls given away, a few fouls. Credit to Georgian finding their way back into this one, but Humber still very much in the driver's seat here.
Well, this is our opening game of championship weekend. We've got a lot more OCAA men's basketball for you right here from the Humber North Campus Gym, the Hawks Nest. There's a look at a rather content Humber Hawks coaching staff. We'll be right back after a quick intermission. Half number 2 of our opening game of championship weekend will continue. Stay with us. Welcome back to the gym. It is time for the second half of our opening semifinal contest. It was a very strong performance from Humber. They lead 42-29. And Andrew Milani is my broadcast partner. I'm Matt Hamill. Kyle Dalton's working the sidelines today. Andrew, anything jump out at you when we look at kind of the stats after 2 quarters of play?
Well, just that the shooting in that second half, or second quarter rather, went way down for either side. Humber fell from just a hair below 59 to 35. And Georgian falling from 40 to 28.6. Still hanging in this ball game, though. This third quarter should be a huge one here. Let's see which team can pull away.
Humber, the opening possession is turned over. We saw a lot of the reverse of that as Humber forcing a lot of turnovers in that first half. And an opening 3-ball, and that is just what the doctor ordered for Georgian with their star scorer getting on the board early.
Yeah, Trey Wilson, we only saw him get that 1 bucket in the second quarter. Now, already getting one in the third. Could be a sign of things to come.
Well, Humber with a good response there. Aluyi down and dirty, able to get a bucket there. Got to get over half. Anderson does push it across the timeline. Nice effort there, but not going to fall as Aluyi gets the rebound right after his bucket in the offensive end. Antwi swings it over on the near side here for Menzies. Adrian with it up top. A lot of ball movement, not a lot of breathing room. Give credit to Georgian's defensive effort here. And a good bucket, though. Menzies finding the gap that was available and gets the finish.
Yeah, good presence of mind there by Jalen Menzies. Had that pressure at the three-point line, went in, and once he saw that space, just took that opportunity and ran with it for the bucket.
Antwi closing out on defense. Wilson swings it across on the far side now. And a good position play there as finish from Alberto Lopez will bring the Grizzlies back within 12.
Yeah, Lopez, one of the top bigs in the league, getting it done right there in the middle.
So back in the offensive end, David looks for Aluyi, but there's all kinds of Grizzlies draped all over him. And the foul will go against, you can see the guilty party. He's not happy about it, but Wilson picking up his second personal foul.
Yeah, just a lot of contact in there in the middle. And Humber a little bit lucky to get away with one there. Cameron David throwing that ball to just a mess of players in traffic there in the paint. Humber lucky to come out of it with a couple free throws.
And the first free throw from Aluyi is money in the bank. Aluyi had a very strong start in that first quarter. Another free throw here would bring him up to 9 points, and that's exactly what will happen.
And Humber, we mentioned that they're not the best free throw team in the OCAA, but you can't keep giving them opportunities from the line.
Humber's largest lead of the game was 22. That lead now stands at 14. So he's seen the Grizzlies, Andrew, battle back at times, but Humber has just continued to have a very comfortable lead through much of this match.
And the start of the quarters has been the Achilles heel really for Georgian. They've had a hard time scoring off the top here, and Humber's really had their way early on in each of the quarters here.
Jalen Menzies' three-pointer won't fall. Anderson now working against Cameron David. And a kick ball there.
No traveling violation.
Oh, we'll have the travel first. Goodness, good spot there, Andrew. And it's going to go in favor of Humber as the frustration continues to mount for Georgian. So we'll see things take shape for Humber, who have really just been doing an outstanding job throughout the game, keeping the Grizzlies uncomfortable. Now, Andrew, we've seen a good start offensively for the Grizzlies, but not really able to follow it up on the last few possessions. Over and back call. Humber saying he tipped it, but the protest's not going to amount to much, Andrew, as the Grizzlies are going to take the ball away here.
Yeah, Matt, I'm not too sure about that call. It looked like that it was the Georgian player that would have pushed it behind the timeline, and Jalen Menzies just went back to retrieve it, but referee obviously saw it differently. He had a way better view than us.
Yeah, I would have to agree with your assessment, Andrew, but at any rate, Hawks Nation's just going to have to hope their team stands tall defensively. And a good effort, as the pass was right on the money for Trey Wilson, but it'll be last touched by Humber. And the Grizzlies with just 4.7 on the shot clock, Andrew, so not a ton of time to cook something up here. And a well-played ball, as that's just going to be fired off. Won't fall, but rebounded by Antwi.
Big break there for Humber, leaving that shooter wide open.
Oh, David loses the grip. And we've seen both teams kind of just having some ball security issues here. Humber's lead still at 14. Georgian getting the press here as Antwi had the hand all up in Wilson's face. And Wilson looking for the bucket, trying for the solo effort. Rebounded by Aluyi. I don't think we've seen a bucket in a hot minute here.
It's been a little bit.
Menzies looking to do away with that. No, not able to, but Humber with the second chance. And a foul against the Grizzlies.
Not sure what happened on that shot with Menzies. That was bizarre. It looked like that ball should have been an easy bucket there, but he just kind of lost the handle by the looks of it. Or just an awkward shot.
Now you got a player for the Hawks tying his shoelace and a videographer right on top of the action.
Got to get that close up.
Former Humber Hawk men's basketball player, that videographer, Jamani Barrett. His playing days with the Hawks are over, but still very much in the mix. And Aluyi with a freshly tied shoelace, banging down the first free throw. Humber knocking on the door of the half-century mark. Chance to extend Humber's lead to 16.
And Cavante Anderson on Georgia now with his third foul. He's got to watch it here.
Yeah, so far leading the way in scoring for the Grizzlies is number 10, Uzziah Glasgow. He's been very dynamic here today. Ball all over the place, but Georgian able to break out of their zone. So Humber still at that 49-point mark for now. Oh, we saw Antwi hit the deck there, but he's back on his feet and with the rock, taking it across the center line. Deep three for Grant. Not gonna go, and a violation against the Grizzlies, as they're gonna say that box out effort by Marseille was a little offside, and that'll give Humber the ball on the baseline.
Yeah, I gotta make sure that those feet are planted. That's gonna be Marseille's third foul. So now a couple Georgian players in foul trouble.
Yeah, you mentioned the 3 fouls on Anderson, and now the 3 on Paris France's Sean Marseille. Menzies, deep 3 off the front side of the rim.
Big break for Georgian, leaving Menzies that wide open and him not finishing.
And in transition, we saw the 3 ball jacked up by number 6, Jamar De La Rosa, and he's got another 3 ball, and that pass coming right for our commentators table, Andrew. Nobody home.
No, and De La Rosa in a little bit of discomfort there, landed a bit awkwardly. He's favoring that right leg by the looks of it. We'll see if that continues to be an issue here.
Well, Humber's lead now down to 12. So, Andrew, the game's still up for the taking here, right? It's not going to take that big of a Georgian run for them to come back. Humber, so far, has not really been able to create that big separation that we've seen earlier in the game.
No, especially earlier in the quarters, like we said, first and second quarter early on, Humber really able to run away with the Georgian, unable to keep up. This one, a much different complexion.
Antwi barreling in, and the travel call will pump the brakes on that drive.
Yeah, Antwi getting called. There's that one extra hop at the end of that one before the pass. That's the one that got him in trouble there.
Game one of our doubleheader here today. Stick around for the St. Clair Saints taking on the Durham Lords right here in our second semifinal match. Grizzlies down bad and looking to come back, and a three-point play opportunity thanks to some great work down low by Alberto Lopez, who's got the and one chance coming.
Yeah, the big man getting it done in the middle once again.
And another member of the Grizzlies who's kind of hopping around a little gingerly, and you can see he's in a little bit of discomfort as he gets ready for this free throw.
De La Rosa also first in the OCAA in three-point percentage, although we really haven't seen him jack it up from beyond the arc today.
Yeah, Lopez, who's shooting his free throw, Andrew, 43% from beyond the arc, and that's, like, as you just highlighted, #1 in the province. Single-digit lead for Humber. Good Grizzlies very much battling back here. Humber looking to get their offense going. Isaiah Brady Clark, who has been a little flat with the scoring, but he bangs down that three-pointer, and that's big for Humber's lead back to 12.
Massive there, Matt, as this lead, 9 points, hadn't gone that low since the first quarter.
Yeah, we saw in the first half, Brady Clark was 0 for 6, but a big bucket there when it matters most. See if he can continue to turn it on and create some separation. 4 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Careless ball there.
Yeah, second chance here. Grant gets it. And almost scooping up his own rebound, but Humber coming up empty there.
But still, I like that extra pass there by Humber to find Grant there in the corner.
De La Rosa looking for the finish off the glass. It's rebounded by Lucas Lewis. Grant, pull-up shot, still not quite on target. Grant sitting at 9 points here today.
And that three-pointer not falling quite as often as it was in that quarterfinal matchup.
So far, leading the way in scoring is the young man with the ball right now, Jamar De La Rosa. And looking to add to his total. 2 free throws will give him that chance. So 12 points for Jamar. And a chance to bring it up to 14. Foul against Isaiah Brady Clark, who's got 2 fouls to go along with his 3 points. So a chance to bring that Humber lead back down to 10, and he will do just that.
De La Rosa, one of the shorter players for either side here today, but just using his smarts here, using what he's got, and he's been very successful points-wise here today.
Antwi with it, being guarded by Alberto Lopez. Antwi dishes it to Lewis, who gets fouled as he makes his way to the hoop.
Drew a lot of contact there going to the bucket.
Yeah, Lewis plays a physical brand of basketball, and that time he was able to draw the heavy contact. But he certainly dishes it out on a number of occasions we've seen this year. First free throw, a little short. And the second is off target as well. So Humber's lead still hanging at 10 points. You know, Andrew, Humber has led the way throughout the game, but boy, oh boy, you wouldn't want to see the Grizzlies be the team that can turn it on late and steal the game away. But right now, that's still very much on the table the way things are going.
Yeah, every possession here matters.
Nice pass, zipping right through. In fact, maybe a little too nice as the heat on that one, too much for Isaiah Brady Clark.
And not quite able to get the handle on that one with that hot pass. Unfortunately, it went out of bounds.
Well, I think in order for it to kind of find its way through that window, it needed to have some zip on it, but yeah, sometimes a little hard to receive. And so some substitutions, as checking out of the game for now is the man who's leading scoring tonight for either team, De La Rosa, with some big three-pointers. Stolen away by DJ Burke, and he's all alone here. taking it up with the slam. Semifinal slam for DJ Burke, and a timeout called. Humber leading big here late in the third.
Yeah, not the most impressive steal when you look at the replay, but just got that little hand in there, and then he was off to the races there with that big slam. We'll get one more look.
This was that earlier
Yep.
where Lewis ultimately missed both of those free throws. So you mentioned those lucky breaks, and Georgian benefiting that go around. And there's a look at the coach of the year and the player of the year. Quite a dynamic duo. Rest of the team having their huddle right now, as Grant now joins in. But, you know, so far, Andrew, Grant has done his thing. 9 points for the OCAA Player of the Year, but it's really just been a well-rounded effort for Humber, especially in the offensive end. A lot of guys chipping in, but defensively, kind of business as usual for the Hawks, leading the way with the intensity, rebounding, and that's been reflected on the scoreboard throughout the game as Humber has been in the commanding position.
Yeah, and defense has really been the bread and butter of this team. Not only this season, but going back basically the whole tenure of Omar Miles here as head coach of the Humber Hawks. And one of the keys here is that Humber really not make it easy for Georgian to shoot threes. They're making them come inside, where, of course, Humber has tremendous length and size. So they're just making nothing easy here for the Georgian Grizzlies. And that's why they've led by around 4 possessions this whole game.
Here we go, 2.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Georgian putting everything they have into this comeback effort. Not gonna go for Wilson. Jump ball is the ruling, and that will give Georgian the ball right back here. Deep in Humber territory. How do you like that? My goodness, the Hawks are incensed. They want, I think, the double dribble there, partner.
Won't get it.
As a big swing there. What might have been a turnover is a 3-point play, bringing the Grizzlies back within 9. Great spin move by Antwi, and he'll reestablish that double-digit lead and 1. My goodness, Antwi doing his regular thing right there, Andrew. We got the replay look at it.
That was the previous 3, but Antwi matching that 3 with a chance to do it the old school way. The 3-point play from the line.
Wow, how about that? High energy plays on both sides of the court. Humber turning their frustration into a big bucket. Now Antwi, with his free throws on the season, he's been shooting 44%. Part of a larger trend for Humber, really not doing well with their free throws, but able to convert there. So 3-point play for 3-point play exchanged by these teams.
Yeah, free throws have been an issue, but everything else for Humber has been such an astounding success where it really hasn't bit them at all this season or really come close.
And look at that, Jalen Menzies forcing yet another turnover. That is such a big part of his game. Antwi flying in. Lots of velocity there, getting the finish off the glass.
And the soft finish off the glass, too, coming in with such speed. Not an easy finish. Tremendous job.
Yeah, an impressive player, Kwabena Antwi, with the type of skill set he brings to the table. Good defense there as Wilson has to pass it off. Now in tight. Humber wanting a travel. First shot won't go. Taj able to wrestle away the rebound.
Yeah, Grant doing a great job on defense there just to make that last shot there a little bit more difficult.
And we have got the heat turning up here in this game late in the third as Antwi had bodies all over him, trying to get the ball up the court, ultimately drawing the foul.
Either team here starting to feel the pressure. This is really where winners are built here. Late moments of the game as we get closer and closer to the fourth quarter.
It's so big here for Humber to, try to create some separation. We saw the lead dwindle to as little as 9. So really, you're talking 3-possession game at one point earlier in this quarter. But Humber now is looking to kind of build that lead back a little bit. Up by, it's taking me way too long to do this math right now. 14 points, Andrew. And a missed free throw because Humber is in the bonus now.
And another player for Georgian in foul trouble is Zer Christie. He's up to 3 fouls.
Wilson doing his best to make his way into the bucket, and he'll draw the foul.
Yeah, it's going to be a blocking foul against Humber.
Boy, nothing coming easy here, as we've really seen things intensify. You know, we mentioned earlier in the third, there was kind of a long gap and no scoring, but things have really ratcheted up here.
Big missed free throw there by Trey Wilson.
As he stays with just, make that 6 points now on the game.
Remember, Georgian can't foul here.
Yeah, that would bring Humber right to the free throw line in any circumstance. So DJ Burke on the near side hands it off to Cameron David. David, the veteran presence, turnaround shot, looking for the bank, not open this Saturday afternoon. And Humber with it. Georgian wanted the over and back, not gonna get it. Taj loses the grip. A little bit of chaotic play back and forth here. Nice passing by the Grizzlies. David getting swarmed.
Yeah, he's almost trapped there.
Pardon me, that was Ndongo, able to get it out. DJ Burke, nice finish in the last 10 seconds of the quarter.
Soared up for the soft layup.
Only a few seconds left. Georgian has to put it up. Wilson gets it off. And it's 2 off the mark. 3 quarters in the books in this semifinal. A trip to the provincial championship, and by virtue of that, the national championship is on the line. And Humber still leading by 16 with a score of 61-45.
61-46 actually the score. A little bit of mistake here on our scoreboard, but either way, Humber up by 5 possessions. Just a tremendous job to close out that third quarter. I'd argue the strongest end to the quarter that Humber's had all game long.
Yeah, Andrew, you know, it all comes down to crunch time. And, you know, last season for Humber, there was multiple occasions where they would lose games that they'd really been in the driver's seat for much of the contest, and then just find ways to sort of lose the grip on the game late in the fourth quarter. And Andrew, this season, we obviously have not seen that, as the Humber perfect campaign continues. 18 wins in the regular season, tacking on 2 more wins in the crossover and quarterfinal round. And here we are, Humber looking to make it their 21st win in a row this season, as we have an adorable fan who rooting on the Grizzlies, Andrew.
She just hopes both teams have fun.
Andrew, 3 quarters of basketball are in the books. We have the official stats here. Anything jumping off the page to you, partner?
Once again, it's those field goal percentages where Georgian way down to 27.8 that last quarter, only 5 for 18. Shot well from 3 for 7, but just 2 for 11 from 2-point range, which has to be a huge issue there for Chad Booley. Humber on the other end, 1 for 6 from 3, but 7 to 15 from the field in total. In that third quarter, I should say.
Yeah, here we go. 3-point shooting has been fairly even. 5 for 18 from beyond the arc for Georgian versus Humber's 6 for 19. Of course, Humber getting some wonderful 3-point shooting from Romeo Osas Joshua. 3 for 5. Didn't see a whole lot of Romeo in that third quarter. Leading the way for the Humber Hawks with 11 points are both Kwabena Antwi and Dwayne Burke. Here's a look at Romeo and what a contribution he has made, Andrew, with a number of 3-pointers here today.
Yeah, I mean, all the shots been from deep, and he has been quite successful here today. Quite efficient as well, 3 for 5. Add that to his ball handling, you got yourself a good day.
Good finish there, as the fourth quarter will start out much like the third. An early bucket from Georgian. We'll see if they can build on that, follow things up. Here's Jalen on the far side over to David. Cameron David's pass, a little too much mustard on that one as it's turned over.
Yeah, just a little offline, just over the shoulder of Ndongo.
Fed into Sache. Ball on the ground, taken away by Victor Ndongo. And Victor draws the foul. Great work there. And he'll head to the free throw line.
Yeah, Menzies with him, but Menzies was pretty well covered off. Good job by him to just go to the hoop himself, put one up. Didn't go in, but he'll shoot two.
So good job there by Ndongo on number 1. Humber's lead up to 14. Andrew, I think it's going to be key for Humber to not really be content with this margin. Just create a little bit of extra separation and don't leave any window of opportunity for this Grizzlies team to upset the undefeated number 1 team in the nation. But as it looks right now, that number 1 team is sitting pretty with a 15-point lead in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, and for Humber, it really just all starts with defense. Have to make sure you do all those defensive possessions. You're not going to stop everything, but got to make sure they give Georgian a hard time.
Burke picks up the foul. Here we go. Georgian ball. And they're going to need to close this gap. Stripped away or swatted away, but picked right back up by the Grizzlies. Deep 3 and taken away. Burke.
You can feel Georgian start to get a little bit more desperate now. A little bit of a forced shot there from deep.
Yeah, so tough. They have just found themselves really down big. The most lion's share of this game, and Taj Motiki Stevens with a finish. That'll help the Humber cause.
And Humber's lead now up to 17.
Yeah, 65 to 48. Torigny feeds it down low, and Sache not able to find any room to work with. It will remain Grizzlies ball here.
Motiki Stevens not taking any chances there, just swatting that ball away.
Looking for that pass inside. It's handled and off the side of the backboard. Back up top, 1 second on the shot clock. That looks good. And it's a near miss. Goodness, big collision. And unfortunately, it's going to go against the Hawks as Taj Motiki Stevens is charged with the foul.
Took a hard fall after that, too. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
So inbounding it will be Luke Torigny rather. Burke playing defense, Torigny with it. Moving inside, passes off to Marseille. Another foul against Humber. This time it's Aluyi, the guilty party. And with that, Aluyi checks out and Taj Motiki Stevens heads back in. Humber also sending in Kobena Antwi. There's Marseille. First free throw won't go for the young man by way of Paris, France. Number 2 won't go either, and Grant able to wrestle it away after Burke poked it. And Tweed finds Grant up top. 10 seconds on the shot clock. David up top, 3 ball. I don't know if somebody got a piece of it, but it was well short.
To me, it just looked like he rushed the shot. Didn't look deflected.
So the game plan for Humber still looking good. 17-point lead here with just over 7 minutes to go in regulation. And another trip to the free throw line. That's certainly been a theme here in the fourth, is the success of the Grizzlies drawing fouls here.
And for Georgian, just a way for them to kind of extend this game, stop that clock, make sure, and this way you can just get free shots from the line. You can keep drawing Humber to take fouls, and already now Humber out of fouls to give. And Dwayne Burke up to 4 fouls. One more is going to be the end of his day.
A lot of noise here from the Hawks faithful. Marseille with the free throw falling there. And 2 for 2 on that trip. 65-50. And Humber will take their time getting set up, Andrew. You got to think at this point of the game, the Hawks are going to look to bleed as much clock as they can. No need to rush anything here, as the clock is Humber's friend right now.
You don't want to milk that shot clock a little bit too much, and where you're forced to take a shot at the end of the shot clock that might not be the best.
Yeah, right now, shot clock winding down, and Menzies is just going to have to throw that one up.
It's going to be a violation.
Yeah, the initial shot by Menzies did not hit the rim. And that time, you know, give credit to Georgia's defense, Andrew. They had Humber looking a little scrambled eggs there with some wild passes and a low percentage shot ultimately resulting.
Yeah, Humber a little bit lackadaisical, a little too cavalier there with the shot clock.
Three-pointer, Marseille with another big bucket. And Humber better look out now, as Georgian certainly building a little bit of momentum, and Humber kind of gearing down a little bit offensively. David drawing the contact.
Humber could really use a bucket right here.
That's one thing Humber has done very well this game. Anytime Georgian gets a big bucket, big 3-ball, Humber seems to just consistently answer and really not allow any sort of runs for Georgian, and that's really been evidenced by the score, where Humber is just led by as much as 22. In the second half, Andrew, as little as 9, but there's always been a pretty decent cushion in favor of the Hawks.
And that's a good point, Matt. The response by Humber when Georgian starts to make it a close game has always been tremendous and has always been there today. That's going to be no basket there. Looks to be a foul against Malik Grant.
Yeah, a little too strong. And Georgian is, no surprise, in bonus territory, because it has been a foul-heavy first 3.5 minutes for Humber here in the fourth quarter. And we'll see if maybe that plays a bit of a role here in a potential Georgian comeback.
Yeah, you're up 13, but in bonus territory for Georgian the rest of the way through these last 6-18 isn't the most comfortable spot for the Hawks here. Can't imagine that Omar Miles is going to be too thrilled about that.
Looks like Romeo Osas Joshua maybe getting ready to check into the game. We'll keep an eye on the 3-point shooting Maverick. Romeo's been dynamite this game. Some pressure from the Grizzlies. David able to break it, and Cameron David getting a little bit accosted there, moving through the lane, but resetting up top now. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Grant setting a little screen there, and ball turned over. Georgian fans getting loud here. Wild pass up top. Isaiah Brady Clark gets it, and he steps on the line. You see Coach Miles fired up. See where the call goes here. It goes in favor of Georgian.
And there's Romeo getting ready to check back in.
Romeo in. Cameron David out. And so Georgian, after a big bucket, looking to continue to build that momentum. Over to Christie. Antwi, nice pass to Menzies. It won't get it to fall. Antwi tried to get the second effort, but yet another offensive possession turning up snake eyes for Humber.
Need to stop here.
11-point difference right now. Sache to the hoop. Goodness.
Gonna be on Romeo.
Yeah, Andrew, a little bit of indigestion for Hawks Nation right now, watching how this is playing out in the fourth quarter. Certainly making for an interesting storyline, as it is very much in the hands of the Grizzlies to mount a comeback right now.
Yeah, definitely no shortage of drama here at the Hawks Nest. And Georgian a chance to turn this into a one possession, or excuse me, a single-digit deficit once again. They won't be able to do it on this trip, though.
You know, you see a guy like Malik Grant still at 9 points, right? So really hasn't been able to make a huge contribution offensively, especially in the second half. We'll see if the OCAA Player of the Year can maybe put a little nail in the coffin late in this one. But right now it's Humber needing to respond as the Grizzlies are back within 10. Ran off to Isaiah Brady Clark, and he's gonna get the bucket. Great second half play by IBC continues.
Great job by Humber to get back on the scoreboard.
Wilson blows a tire, and the
no.
foul against Antwi, but didn't see a whole lot there other than a slip, partner.
To me, it looked like he slipped. Would love to see another look if we can get one.
Yeah, Hawks Nation, and maybe this commentator's table not thrilled with that one. Full disclosure.
Our first bit of controversy of the day.
And that's big, partner. And so Wilson knocks down the first one and not able to get number 2 to go. Rebounded by Burke. Boy, what an effort the rookies put in here, not just the whole season long, but today especially. And a well-deserved West Division all-rookie team nod for Burke, and see how his role continues to factor in here.
Oh my!
All over him, and the defenders were messing around with Grant, but he was able to get the bucket anyway.
And I imagine we're gonna see Grant get the ball a lot here down the stretch.
And we'll have a jump ball and a replay. Here's the foul call. And didn't see a whole lot there. And a great second look there by our BRTV HSN crew to give us that big call. But ultimately, you know, things have just kind of ping-ponged back and forth. But look at the score there, Andrew. Humber back up to a 14-point lead. So, again, now check that. It is 57-70, so 30-point lead.
13.
Yeah. I'm all over the road here, partner. But you know what? I think that this is still very much a little bit of a tense atmosphere here in the Hawks Nest, given just how close this game has continually gotten in the late going.
Yeah, I mean, the way that I guess lack of offense, or lack of defense, I should say, rather, for Humber, and then Georgian able to shoot and just keep themselves in. It's going to lead to some tense moments here down the stretch. This one not over by a long shot, just over 4 minutes left to go here. Humber just got to keep playing defense and keep getting those scoring opportunities.
Yeah, defense is what the OCAA Coach of the Year has been preaching all year long. Omar Miles, in his 4th year with Humber, he has led his team to some great success. Now, last year, the provincial championship was Humber's. They settled for national bronze when they went on to the CCAA tournament. And as you highlighted earlier, Andrew, Humber also winning the provincial championship in Omar Miles' first season as head coach, also tacking on a national championship there. Georgian is looking for their first medal in their OCAA men's basketball history. Turned over there. Isaiah Brady Clark marching down the court and one for the sixth man of the year in the West Division.
And I mean, this is one of those plays that could be the nail in the coffin for Georgian. A huge bucket and a foul. One more look at it here. Going in, great finish despite that contact. And Booley going on the court.
Yeah,
a little mix up there with Cavante Anderson. Trying to calm his player down.
Yeah, having some words with Malik Grant, but losing is cool. Certainly not what the Grizzlies need from anybody on the team right now. That's going to be, Cavante Anderson off to the bench for now after that technical.
Yeah, he's up to 4 fouls now. One more is going to be the end of his game.
You know, such a tough assignment for Georgian coming into Humber in unfamiliar territory. The Hawks getting the home court advantage on top of what's just been a fabulous season, right? Undefeated, #1 team in the province, #1 ranked team in the nation. And so far, Humber has just been able to really establish themselves in the semifinal game. Big defensive play, the foul call. Goodness. I think that's going to go against DJ Burke again here, partner.
That's going to be the end of his game. That's foul number 5. The backboard's still moving after that play, still wiggling a little bit.
And a round of applause for DJ Burke. Just an outstanding rookie campaign from number 24, and it looks like he'll have a chance to continue his excellent rookie campaign in a gold medal contest. But Humber still with 4 minutes to go. We'll see if Georgian can battle back here. Free throws are good. Ndongo, sketchy pass, but it's handled by Grant. You know, we've been talking, can Grant be the guy, the Iceman, to kind of put this one away? He hands it off to Antwi for now. 10 on the shot clock. Here's Grant. Drawing lots of attention. Ndongo looking for Brady Clark. Gets a nice pass there right into the breadbasket from Wilson. But it is out of bounds. Last touch by Georgian. So, Andrew, there's only 1 second on the shot clock here.
It's going to be a quick pass and shoot situation here. I don't know if I'd go for 3, maybe try and look for the layup.
Gonna get the Derek Fisher, just quickly launch that thing towards the hoop.
Hope for the best.
And finding a way to get it off was Grant, but not anywhere near the rim that time.
I don't even know if he got it off in time.
And rebounded by Romeo. Antwi gets it across to the hoop. Kobena Antwi trying to put the game away late in the 4th. Big slam.
Antwi, listen, at 6 foot there, played like a 7-footer on that one with a massive slam there. I like that they didn't play around with the shot clock. Just go for the basket if you got it.
That's what Antwi does, partner. He just takes it to the hoop, and we'll ask questions later. And that time, wow, what a finish. Great second look there on our replay, and Antwi now up to 13 points for Humber, and that's the thing. You have such a good roster on this #1 ranked team in the nation, and so many guys on any given Sunday or Saturday that can step up and have a big performance.
That's the Humber way.
A little bit of discontent from Hawks Nation on that play. It's a lot of deliberation going on. Coach Miles can probably taste that gold medal game now. It's just a matter of the closeout effort. 16-point lead for Humber. 3 minutes to go. Put up. Rebounded by Ndongo.
Georgian out of fouls to give.
And Dongo doing his best Antwi impression. Oh my goodness. Taking it to the hoop in the fourth quarter. Back-to-back plays. First it was Antwi, now Ndongo. And one.
How did that shot go in? That ball just seemed to be defying gravity there. One more, look at it there. Hit the rim and just rolled over. Physics was on our side there, partner.
Yeah, if I even thought about doing something like that, Andrew, I'd hurt my back. But Ndongo able to get it done.
Both teams now in the bonus.
Streaking in. Foul against Humber. It's going to go against Jalen Menzies for his second of the game. Menzies only 4 points tonight, but Andrew, like we mentioned, there's just so many players on this Humber roster that can be relied on to make the contribution, even when guys like Menzies are having a less quiet game on the offensive side.
Yeah, Matt, Menzies not having the greatest scoring night, but getting it done in other ways. We've seen some tremendous defense by him, a bunch of steals.
Oh, phenomenal.
And great ball movement by him today as well. So finding other ways to chip in.
Yeah, Menzies has been absolutely electric in the defensive end. He has caused so many turnovers, and that's not unique to today. That's what he's been doing all season long. Grant loses the grip, grabs the face, and not able to get back is
technical, I believe, against Christie.
Yeah, it looks like he maybe had some words for the official. And you see a little bit of frustration from Humber.
That's going to be Christie's fourth foul.
Oh, so that was, yeah, on Christie. So Malik Grant wanted that foul call. I thought he got hit up in the face, and you know, Grant has been, maybe it's, you know, everybody coming for the king. You know, you get named OCAA Player of the Year. A lot of Grizzlies are sort of chirping with him, but so far it's been the Grizzlies have been coming out on the short end of the stick there, getting all the foul calls and the technicals.
Yeah, already a couple getting called against Georgian.
Grant having a tough time keeping the grip there, but Humber will hang on to possession. 2 minutes and change left here in this game. Nice finish there by Menzies. 81-62. Andrew, we were worried that the Grizzlies were maybe mounting that comeback, but as this fourth quarter has really set in, it's been Humber getting back on that horse and almost a 20-point lead reestablished.
Yeah, Humber led by 22 at one point. Slowly inching back to that milestone. And so far, Humber give him a lot of credit here down the stretch of this fourth quarter. Early in the quarter wasn't that great, but as this one has been going over and on, Humber just looks stronger and stronger. Antwi, one of the players leading the way here, had that tremendous dunk, 13 points, 6 of 8 from the field. Very efficient. Add to that a few rebounds, a few assists. And there's making a great ball game.
Antwi actually rocks jersey number 12, but ultimately it's been such a great game for him, Andrew. That big slam late in this game, and Dongo following it up with that crazy and one play. And we have a hot gym here on semifinal day. Tomorrow is our gold medal match with the bronze preceding that. It should be a fun one. We hope you stay with us here. You can always come on down to the Humber North Campus Gym to catch the action in person. Smell the popcorn with your own olfactory system.
And we're starting to see some St. Clair fans filing into the gym here as we get ready for the other semifinal match. Durham Lords versus the St. Clair Saints. Starting about half an hour after the conclusion of this one, so about 6 o'clock.
Andrew, when it comes to men's basketball in the province of Ontario, Humber reigns supreme. 35 total medals, 15 of those gold, as the Grizzlies able to get a quick chance here. So there's 4 teams in semifinal weekend, Andrew. St. Clair is behind Humber. They have 9 medals total compared to Humber's grand total of 35. 1 gold for St. Clair.
Durham has just a couple years ago.
That's right. Durham with 1 provincial gold and 6 medals total. And Georgian, the lone team in the Final Four without any OCAA hardware in program history for men's basketball.
Unfortunately, it doesn't look like a trip to the final for them, which would mean guaranteed
Automatic
hardware. So
and a trip to the national tournament in Quebec. Nice feed to Antwi, big finish and 1. And it feels like this game is completely out of reach. 20-point lead for the Hawks. Chance to make it 21.
That's going to be the end of the game for Cavante Anderson. That's his 5th foul.
Andrew, what a game we have up next for this part of our doubleheader. The St. Clair Saints and the Durham Lords. Should be a very fun one. Hope you stay with us, everybody at home watching. Durham, a 17-1 team over the course of the regular season, taking on the St. Clair Saints, who are 16-2.
Both those losses coming to Humber.
Yeah, and we know the St. Clair Saints fans travel well.
A loud bunch.
And I hear tell from a little birdie that Durham's got a busload or 2 of fans coming in.
Yeah, Durham from Oshawa, not too far away from here.
On the sideline there for the turnover. Yeah, you know, Andrew, Barrie, where Georgian calls home, is really the furthest you have to go. So really kind of just in the greater Toronto areas. Well, I guess St. Clair's in Windsor, so let me rethink that statement.
A little further away.
It's my Toronto-centric bias showing there. Here we go, Humber with it into Desjardins. And he'll move in, but meet all kinds of Grizzly defenders. Taj hits a brick wall as well, kicks it out to Romeo. Romeo just throws up the prayer. Kicked out, 3 sent up there by Glasgow. Not gonna go. Glasgow had such a big first half, 10 points, but since then he's been quiet. Desjardins all over him, but Georgian comes away with it. And that'll roll out of bounds. It'll stick with the Grizzlies here. Andrew, we got 55 seconds on the clock here. Final minute of play, and what looks like an effort. The Hawks have done enough.
Humber's gone completely to their bench. Georgian still with 1 starter left on the court. Marseille's still out there.
And missed there as Gershon Bobby missed there, but Andrew, the time is ticking away. Romeo off to Taj. And Humber just taking the shot clock violation there.
Just milk the clock at this point. You're up by 20.
And so Humber has done enough to make their way to the gold medal game, and that pass a little high. Could be the last possession of the game here, Andrew. Shot clock turned off.
It will be. Humber's just going to dribble it out here. Oh. With just 1 stoppage, I guess.
Give credit to Georgian. They stuck in this game right into the 4th quarter, but Andrew, it was just the #1 team in the country, just too hot to handle. This season has just been all in favor of the Hawks. The perfect season continues, but will that remain the story tomorrow in the gold medal match? We'll have to find out. The Humber Hawks have earned their trip to potentially repeat as provincial champions, and they have certainly earned a spot at the national tournament in Quebec.
21-0 on the season so far. There's the look of the bracket there. Humber earning their ticket in the final, punching their ticket. And Coach Omar Miles looking for his 3rd provincial title in just his 4th year coaching.
And there's a look at the handshakes. Andrew, we have a Georgian Grizzlies team that fought hard. They are going to have to await to see who they're playing in the bronze medal match. That'll be a big game for Georgian, attempting to bring home their first ever OCAA medal.
Yeah, of course, we will know who they're going to be playing in about a couple hours' time. St. Clair versus Durham. We're going to have the player of the game ceremony for each side here.
Yeah, player of the game introduction or announcement will be coming up here, Andrew, and then we'll also
the player of the game from the Georgian Grizzlies is number 3, Sean Mercier.
Mercier, the player of the game for Georgian. Andrew, that's well deserved, especially in the second half. Some outstanding plays from that young man.
Yeah, led the way with 12 points for his side, 6 rebounds, and a steal.
I don't know who's going to get it for Humber, Andrew, but 15 points for Kobena Antwi.
He's famously known as Quabs.
Hey, he did enough. Antwi is given that player of the game nod here in this semifinal contest.
Well deserved, 15 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, a block, and that slam dunk was just the period on the sentence.
And our sideline reporter Kyle Dalton will have an interview with Kobena Antwi in a few moments, and always love to hear from Antwi. He's got a knack for saying some good words at the end of the game. It's not his first rodeo with a player of the game nomination. So we'll have that coming up in just a moment. Andrew, our next game coming up, the St. Clair Saints taking on the Durham Lords. That's going to be a fun one, but this was an excellent contest. Humber got off to a big lead early on, and they were able to really just handle business throughout this contest, winning the game. And our sideline reporter Kyle Dalton is alongside Antwi for the post-game interview.
Thanks, guys. I'm beside Kobena Antwi. Kobena, great performance here tonight. Player of the game. What did you think of your team's performance tonight?
This is how we hoop. We play off our defense, and our defense got us this win, honestly. Like, we've been working together for the whole damn near summer, so it's just playing together the whole time, knowing what we do on defense. It's going to make everything easier on offense.
You kept a really good Georgian offense to their season low 63 points. What was the key for you guys on the defensive end here today?
Just focus on their main guys and help each other, because we know what they do. We know they're a good offensive team, but we're the best defensive team in the country, so we lock up, and this is how we play.
You get Durham or St. Clair tomorrow. Is there anyone you want in particular?
We're ready for both. Bring them both.
How does it feel you get to play for back-to-back provincial championships tomorrow?
It's a blessing, honestly. I never thought that something like this would happen, but when you work for it, this is the result that comes with it.
All right, man, we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Kyle. You heard it there from Kobena Antwi. We're ready for either team, and the #1 defensive team in the nation is how the Hawks are feeling, and we'll see who their opponent is. Game 2 coming up after this quick break. Stay with us. More OCAA semifinal action coming up right after this.